to support the men in the burgundy strip, and it's difficult back there for Echenique, the young 21-year-old, making just his second appearance in a Venezuela shirt. And it looks as though it might force the change. So this will be interesting and just put a different wrinkle on this Venezuela midfield. You see the shake of the head. It certainly doesn't bode well. He did. Martinez come on as a substitute for the last 12 minutes Friday night in Houston against Australia. So back-to-back appearances for the LAFC. Where youth shall be served. Once again, they roll another one right out the conveyor belt and into midfield. So Echenique out. David Martinez coming on. There'll be that shot in the arm here, trying to liven up this South American attack. Side that's failed to score in 4 of their last 6 international outings. Nahuel Ferrarese. Cáceres. Or Dani Pereira. Part of that double pivot tonight. Dual number 6s as it comes out wide. This is Mendoza. Where will the inspiration come from? Can they draw out? Not too aggressive of a defensive posture here from Canada.
Well, Cáceres is going to drop so deep between the center backs. They need to push forward. Everybody's coming too deep. It's actually David Martinez straight into the game. First player that's willing to take the ball in the pocket there behind the midfield and is able to win a corner. Oh, it looks like it's going to be given as a goal kick. I thought initially that was a corner. Clearly Martinez does as well.
Rubio Vasquez in conference with his number 2 assistant. His confirmation. Another substitution. So we'll see Joel Waterman come on and replacing Derek Cornelius in the center of that Canadian defense. And perhaps a little worrying, Derek Cornelius not figuring in the goalless draw on Thursday up in Toronto against Ecuador. It comes off after just a half an hour. So both sides forced to make changes in this first half due to injury. Not what you want to see for Venezuela or a Canada fan. Waterman earning a lot of praise, playing the full shift on Thursday night. Here's Sigur, meanwhile, overhitting it for David, easily claimed the center of the park. A match that's really lacked some tempo tonight.
Yeah, it's been a little choppy. It's difficult when you're Venezuela. We've talked about all the different circumstances for them. They're still battling that recent disappointment. They have a lot of younger players that they're giving opportunities to, not a rhythm and flow to their game. Canada have brought the intensity in different moments, but this is not the best version of Canada we have seen, but it's also a team that's struggling to find its confidence a little bit. And then at the back now, Alfie Jones is actually going to slide out to that. Oh, nice ball from Martinez.
And and it's Cáceres calls his own number. Good interplay with the center of the park for Venezuela.
And Cáceres moving further forward in that moment, with Pereira dropping a little bit deeper. It opened up some space for the captain to get higher up the field. You can just see him slowly making his way up. Lovely little flick to lay it off for him. A lot to do there to beat Maxime Crépeau, but he knew as soon as he got that second touch in front of his foot that he was going to take that strike on goal. Just mishits it, goes wide.
Stylish back heel from Telasco Segovia. 1-0 is our score. Ismael Kone, the benefactor. A fortunate deflection with the game's only goal now. Venezuela trying to mount a response. Segovia plays it wide. And here they come down that opposite right-hand side, but it's intercepted by Richie Larea, who rarely puts a foot wrong. Nelson, David, and space to operate with now for the number 20. Shoved from behind. The referee waves play on. He had a great look at it. Rubio Vasquez as well. Letting them play. Canada trying to snap a 3-match winless run. Back-to-back draws and that defeat back in October against Australia. You can talk about projects, you can talk about experimentation, but when you get into these friendlies, results do matter.
Yeah, they absolutely do. And we were saying that it's so much about this U.S. team. Well, it doesn't matter. It's about experimentation. But look how different people feel about this team right now with the run that they're on. There's a nice tackle there from Waterman, and Buchanan coming back and helping. The Canadian team, where they've been most successful is when they have transition. They have so much speed through Nelson here.
Nelson looking to drop that shoulder, fires one off. It was a good angle taken up by the experienced Ferrarese. Things difficult for the Canadian winger. Things starting to liven up here in South Florida. Segovia. Quintero. In his club football these days in the Dutch Eredivisie is Quintero. Sparta of Rotterdam, and part of that unchanged partnership at the back with the captain Ferrarese, who's deferred the captain's armband tonight for Christian Cáceres in the center midfield. Spray this one out wide. This is Larea. Oluwaseyi, who drops in. And possession once again relinquished by the Canadians. Short-lived by Venezuela, and here they come. Coney, the goal scorer, trying to set David on his way to no avail. Urgency perhaps on the uptick. A little increase in tempo, Stu.
And the way Canada try to press, their principles, they press with the six, but they try to really run at you, force you to a certain side, and then force you to turn the ball over, and hopefully they can pick it up in this middle block is where they really want to get the ball and then have transitions in the final third. But Venezuela doing a good job dropping an extra number down. It's for them, the problem has been getting from this part of the field into the attacking half, and Canada doing a good job maintaining that umbrella. But because of how slow the tempo that Venezuela is playing at, I mean, even Larea is pushing on, and they're able to just get a numbers advantage, Canada now. Can they win the ball back, though, and create a goal-scoring opportunity?
Mendoza supported by Quintero. Venezuela, the trudging tempo. Perhaps trying
That's
to
where they
lure
want to win it.
Canada
Can they
out.
find a goal now?
And David on the turn. Quickly played, and it's Buchanan. Just misfired.
But
Hindered
the
just enough
ideal
by Quintero.
situation that they want to pick the ball up. That you jump the passing lane, ball goes into Jonathan David. Great ball out to Buchanan, who makes the run, but he just ends up in a position now. He takes one touch, and it comes across his body. So instead of taking that shot earlier, it's just too slow. The angle's gone. He's leaning back. He slices the ball away. Just not the cleanest of techniques from Tajon Buchanan, and a sense of urgency in that moment.
Buchanan missed that Copa America quarterfinal against Venezuela with that broken leg. Want to put his best foot forward tonight. Just keep himself on the list for Jesse Marsh. Hard to imagine Canada side without the Villarreal winger included. They're far from convincing here in the first 39 minutes from Canada. Still out in front thanks to the Kone goal. Side that comes in ranked number 28th in the latest edition of the FIFA rankings, Canada. Venezuela coming in at 50 after crashing out of World Cup qualification, bringing about change in management. Long look in the mirror, the Venezuelan Federation right now, and it's a side that's also beset by all kinds of political strife as well. Play forward by Kova, but he's trying to measure one from Martinez. Some good play in the center from Venezuela at times, but in that final third, moments have been few and far between. Here's Larea for Canada. And really well. getting into that territory where it's so vital to remain resolute as well as lethal, mostly when you want to score, at least when you want to concede. And here comes Canada looking for a second half. Slithering move from Kone now. David lays it off Kone. This is Nelson, who pulls it back from the byline. He'll recycle it now as Tequio slots one through, and Kone, the snapshot, just couldn't sort his feet out quick enough. But that's positive play once again from the Canadians.
Kone did really well initially to break that pressure, beats his man. That opens up the field and the space. Nelson did a good job to get himself back on side, but that ball was just played too heavy, and it meant that his angle was gone. Eustachio then able to work an angle to find Kone, but it bobbled up on him in his first touch. The second was his last away, so it's kind of just another indication of the way generally the game has gone for Canada. A lot of good stuff in the middle of the field. Get to the final third, and whether it's been the last pass, just too heavy, the touch coming across your body, the shot on goal, it speaks to a team that is lacking confidence in and around the goal, lacking in decisiveness, and that's why we don't really see a bigger goal difference right now. It's only just the one goal.
Long searching diagonal on opposite side. Kovas made himself available. It takes the shot from Larea. Let's see that first booking. No doubt some words of caution.
Just the swinging arm of Richie Larea after he got beaten inside by Kova. He just kind of is putting the hand up. You see this happen a lot. Defenders trying to put their hand up and feel the attacking player to get a touch on their body, but that time he just flails his arm a little bit too high. But it does lead now to an opportunity here from the set piece for Canada, for Venezuela rather.
That might be the last warning for Larea. Something for Kripo perhaps to deal with. Dead ball for Venezuela, looped in, and that one amounting to naught. Pretty routine for a keeper of the caliber of Maxime Kripo.
I like the kick. Nice idea though. Looking for Jonathan David. It was a great looking kick from Kripo. David just couldn't get in front of his defender there to get a touch on the ball.
Good spell of possession, no? Step in the right direction for Venezuela, who have nowhere to go but up right now. Teo Quintero working his way through. Free kick just inside that Canadian half. How dearly they'd love to sneak one in. It's been a rather listless first 45 minutes so far. Martinez, Cáceres. Good play forward that time for Venezuela. Of course, clean sheet's no stranger to this Canadian outfit, something Jesse Marsh prided himself on as a player. 3 to be precise so far. Look at 6 in all of totality in 2025. Looking for their 3rd on the spin. Things get a little contentious on that opposite side. This time it's David in the mix. Jonathan David, born in Brooklyn, playing his football at Juventus. It hasn't quite panned out for him in the Serie A.
It gets more difficult when you go from Liga and scoring the amount of goals that he did on a consistent basis over a number of years to then go to Juventus. You're not only stepping up to Serie A, you're stepping up to the Champions League and the expectations and the pressure. And so we've seen this with a number of young American players as well, that it takes a little bit of a period to adapt and to find your footing. So he has not quite found the same goal for him that he had in France, but maybe that will come for him over time.
They'll go long, just 1 goal, 1 assist. And for David in his new Italian adventure, Calcio indeed a different animal. Coming up at halftime, we'll check on highlights through the United States and Uruguay. We'll get you caught up on all things CONCACAF. Our World Cup qualification. All that more, plus highlights and stats as we break down. Not too many attempts, not too many chances here in the first half between Venezuela and Canada. Final minute plus added on time here at Chase Stadium. A lovely evening in the south of Florida. A little nervousness and a lot for this man to do, Maxime Kripo, who's making his way back in goal. First game since that third-place match against El Salvador in the Gold Cup this past summer in June. So 2 minutes will be added on, as confirmed by the fourth official. Ample opportunity to inflict some more damage. And the foul's starting to pile up just ever so slightly. And a yellow card, this one for time wasting as well as perhaps dissent. Eustaquio, perhaps a little too verbose for Rebel Vasquez's liking. First man cautioned tonight. He's really yet to exhibit the influence that we've seen from him in recent outings for Canada. Eustaquio. Last 3 or 4 games, the Porto man's been Canada's best player on the pitch.
Well, generally, I think Canada will feel okay about the half. Jesse Marsch, though, will be a little bit frustrated that they didn't finish off some more of these attacking opportunities and positions that they were in. So if the exercise was tonight was to win, they're on track for that right now with the 1-0 advantage. But more importantly for them, I think it's getting a rhythm and a confidence in front of goal. So this Venezuelan team is there for the taking, and I think Jesse Marsch would like to see his team run up the score a little bit in the second half. I expect some subs from him as well. We got some talented players and young attacking players on the bench that could come off and make an impact. So we'll see what he ends up deciding.
Might be a little bit of a wake-up call of a team talk from Jesse Marsch. He's been known to light the fire. Much the man manager in the truest sense of the word. Wonderful ability to relate to his players. After spending so many years in Major League Soccer, winning the title back in 1998. And 45 minutes in the books here, Canada with the only goal from Ismael Kone. So plenty to work on. Stick around. When we return, we'll check on the USA and Uruguay highlights. Halftime here, Canada 1, Venezuela 0. Of half number 2, Christian Miles alongside former U.S. men's national teamer Stu Holden. Venezuela trying to pick up the pieces after failing to qualify for the World Cup. And they will begin in their burgundy strip, going from left to right across your screen. Away we go, and Canada looking to snap a 3-match winless run. They will begin in the white. Happy to have you along here tonight. See what Canada can offer up here, Stu. Certainly, it left a little bit to be desired in terms of going forward in that first half. What can we expect here in the second half?
Well, we'll see if either team decides to turn it on a little bit more. We've actually seen a change in goal with Fariñas coming in for Venezuela. And Fariñas is experienced, 42nd cap for him. It was Contreras' just his 9th cap coming into this match. Them making a halftime switch at keeper, going back to the more experienced Fariñas at 27 years old.
So first foray forward now here for Venezuela as they work it wide to the left-hand side. That's positive play as it's whipped across. Much better work here from Venezuela with the bit between their teeth as that run nearly found Kevin Kelsey.
Well, straight away down the left-hand side, and you can see maybe this is a sign of good things to come for Venezuela. Pushing the tempo a little bit more, looking for Kelsey. He really didn't have much opportunity in front of goal. Maybe just the one chance he almost got on the end of where it was really struggling for them. So let's see if now this can start to come together a little bit more for them in the second half.
We'll account for the change. You get confirmation of the 11s. Kelsey leading the line with his first start for his country after scoring 9 goals for the Portland Timbers, who just had their 2025 playoff run ended by San Diego FC. Chance to contemplate during this winter. Maxime Crepeau keeping his spot with Loré at left back. Waterman had to come in for Derek Cornelius as a first half substitute. Unchanged in the midfield. Only Washei, 2 goals and 20 appearances, along with Jonathan David. Twisting and turning once again is Gleicher Mendoza. relinquishes possession now, and here come Canada. Canada just caught from behind there by Danny Pereira. Lost his shoe in the process.
I think for Canada, as they said going into the end of the first half, it feels that there will be goals there for them in the second half. The chances will come. Can they capitalize on them? If I'm Olo Shea, I'm looking to try to get on the score sheet. There's a battle up front in that position. Kyle Larin will still be in the mix. They've promised David and Jonathan David. You can bet he will be starting. But the hope is that they have competition for those places. And Olo Shea now playing over in Spain in Villarreal. He made the move from Minnesota United this past summer.
He's a much heralded transfer out of Minnesota United. And he was, Olo Shea made that move to La Liga for just around $8.5 to $9 million netted Minnesota. Still really yet to take flight. Just one goal in his 9 appearances for the Yellow Submarine. Olo Shea, player that's been praised for his work ethic, certainly gives 100% in terms of it coming together in front of goal. What's the next step forward for him?
As he gets involved in a challenge there, I thought he was going to have a look, an opportunity to get in behind.
That's the lingering question, though. Olo Shea, can he find that? Had a great chance, of course.
He's definitely, as a lot of strikers you see, are confidence-type players. He actually gets stood on as well there. Olo Shea, 2 different challenges. One, then the ball bumbles into the second one, but we saw him before he made the move from Minnesota United. He was scoring goals for them at will in MLS. He was having a career season. He was scoring for Canada, so looked confident in front of goal. And much like, I think, the Jonathan David example of a player that goes to a higher league in a different environment and different language, all those other things that are a part of those dynamics, it takes you some time. But he is at a great club in Villarreal. He's got his teammate Tejan Buchanan there as well from Canada. So I just think it's a matter of time before we'll see more improvement from him.
Well, the referee having some words with Christian Cáceres, the Venezuela captain. Free kick here for the Canadians. And now a little extracurricular as the card will come out. Looks as though it's going to go against David Martinez. He'll become the first man caution, the first half substitute from MLS club side LAFC. And perhaps a case of the young man, the young teenager, losing a bit of his temper. Much has been made of Olo Shea. He had such a great run, 12 goals in Minnesota United. I remember talking to Minnesota head coach Eric Ramsey earlier this season too, and he's telling me how good that Olo Shea was off the ball. Called him perhaps one of the best defensive forwards, not just in MLS, but throughout the entire world.
That's an important part of the game these days, and especially the way Canada play as well. They rely so much on their forwards to set that line of confrontation, get pressure on defenders, and it's an important part of the modern game. You're not always just there just to get involved when your team is attacking. You have to defend with 11 players.
So Steven Eustaquio. Eustaquio lays it up. Kone is trying to get a hold of it. The referee, I'm steaming that one coming off the arm. The goal scorer.
Actually a really well worked set piece there. Yeah, Eustaquio plays a great looking ball over the top. It actually deceives everybody, cuts it back to the near side, but Kone, I think, just misjudged the flight of the ball. It's almost like he overran it, got caught behind him. So it's been a little sloppy across the board from both teams tonight.
An air of lethargy, perhaps. Trying to liven it up. That's the order of operations for the interim manager, Fernando Aristeguieta. Came on to replace Fernando Batista. Lovely turn on the opposite side, and here they come from Alessandro Milani. Nowhere to go, and once again, it just disseminates. When it comes to the attacking dimension, Kone now on it. Part of the double pivot in the center of the park. Looks up, plays it early. That one dispatched on that right-hand side by Adrian Kova. Referee had the offside flag up anyway.
Nelson just a little bit slow getting back on side with the play. Just wondering at what point in the game you start to see some subs maybe in the second half from Canada, and can they take the game to a little bit of a higher gear? Because that's the way that they play. That's the way that they are successful. When they're playing at a high tempo, they're putting teams under pressure, they're playing quick transitions, and it's almost as though in a game like this, sometimes when you're playing against an opponent that really has nothing to play for or look forward to in the near future, that they're not playing with an intensity that drives and brings it out of you from a competitive standpoint.
Especially in a system that kind of thrives under that high pressure, high energy, almost Red Bull type of philosophy, which is the background of Jesse Marsh. Seems very much a reflection of his personal philosophy. Haven't seen much of it here in the first 53 minutes, however. Free kick, chance for the Canadians to double up. Don't need to espouse all the danger of set pieces and how they can change games, but certainly Canada within a shot here. Perhaps a chance upcoming for the men in white. Eustachio lays it in that one. Run by Tani Oluwaseyi, sandwiched between two defenders. Still on for Canada. Well defended in the end for Venezuela. The Venezuelan supporters, they've come out here in South Florida to support their team.
Yeah, they want to see the Vinotinto live.
True fans.
Indeed, especially after, as we've hammered a million times, how disappointing it has been for them recently.
Well, the disappointment, chance to record back-to-back wins. Buchanan's long throw comes off the defender, and it'll come out for the third corner of the game for Canada. I would think Joel Waterman amongst the targets. He came on. Alfie Jones, been known to latch on to these type of corner kicks as well at the club level with Middlesbrough in the championship. Perhaps a test for Fariñez, who came on at halftime for Contreras. Nelson to take. Whipped all the way in on the outswinger. Take a deflection in, and it falls to the feet of Telasco Segovia on his own pitch. These lines have not been knitted together all evening long for Venezuela.
Yeah, they really are in the midfield, lacking a bit of punch and some creativity. A player who can get on the ball and can make things happen and can play that last pass. David Martinez is very much more so a winger. He can bring the game to life a little bit with his speed and technical ability. But it feels to me a lot of individuals as opposed to a team right now that has any type of cohesiveness.
Positive run there from Adrian Kova. Here's Buchanan dropping to his central role. Too out to handle for Kone, who's brought to the floor. Free kick for Canada. Canadians looking for their first win since that 1-0 win at Wales in September. Exactly an easy run of fixtures in terms of friendlies, taking on World Cup participants Ecuador and Colombia in their last two goalless affairs. A chance to end 2025 on a positive note. Jones making his Canada debut tonight after taking his oath of citizenship just yesterday. And now we see the theatrics come out. Lorea. This is where Martinez has to be careful. He's at the second yellow card. That's red, and Venezuela will go down to 10 men. It was petulant from the LAFC winger, and his day is over. And it starts to crumble once again for La Vinotinto.
Well, David Martinez, you can see, just a little overly aggressive here and makes the foul, but that's not why he picked up the second yellow. It's for what comes after. I think he feels that then Lorea, look, he's got his foot on him, and he didn't like that, and then he gets up and he makes contact to the face, and whether it's minimal, whether it's full force, you're going to get a card for that every single time, and it's just David Martinez showing his inexperience, his age. He's 19 years old. And that's a bad play from a young player who came into this game as a sub in the first half. But that's not how you endear yourself to your fans, your coach, your teammates, especially in a bad moment for this team.
What was going to be a tough uphill climb now perhaps nearly insurmountable for Venezuela. Canada goal to the good and up a man.